Team USA get miraculous at the 1980 Olympics in this village? Oh, that took place at Lake Placid. Frankie, back to you.
Let's go with approach the bench for 600.
Backups Len Sakata, Ron Washington, and Juan Bell had time to birdwatch as Cal Ripken Jr. played non-stop for this team. Jeff,
Lakers?
Orioles, Baltimore Orioles.
Oh,
yes.
Orioles.
Bench for 800. Eli Manning started 232 of 233 regular season games at quarterback for this team. But in 2019, couldn't keep up with the Daniel Jones.
New York Giants.
Frankie.
For the Giants?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go with bench for 1,000.
New York Yankee Wally Pipp had a headache in 1925, so this lucky man played at first. He didn't leave the lineup until 1939.
Alex Rodriguez?
Who is Lou Gehrig?
Lou Gehrig, okay. That's
Discovery
right.
for 200. In 1985, this ship was discovered by a U.S. Navy expedition led by Robert Ballard that found where she had lain for 73 years.
Amelia Earhart?
Frankie.
What's
I
the
don't know.
Titanic?
Titanic,
correct.
okay. Yeah.
Sensing for 800.
This is the subject at hand. This type of sentence tells the main idea of a paragraph.
The main
What is the
thesis?
Thesis? No.
The subject?
What is an exposition?
The main idea. The
Correct
thesis.
response, what is topic?
Oh, topic. Okay.
Frankie, back to you, though.
Oh, I said thesis
The
too.
arrangement of words to make a sentence meaningful. In programming, it's the arrangement of characters so a computer cooperates.
Coding?
Corey,
What is syntax?
that's it.
Syntax.
Discovery 400, please.
Collective name for the ancient manuscript fragments discovered in 1947 in caves in the Qumran region of the West Bank. Jeff, what are the Dead Sea Scrolls? Yes. Discovery for 6.
That's the scrolls.
피부 개선에도
No, I know syntax I can actually be tested, but I want to actually have a recant button. It's my, a tendential problem that's been so persevering in every corner of my genes. I cannot actually do this. I don't actually read it in that way. I perceive it really quickly, but I had a problem.
피부 개선
Never repeat anything. 다시 한 적이 없어요. I don't repeat anything. And my first trial, I was already great. First trial, even actually TOEIC questions. First trial by myself with the book, I was doing really okay.
The American River in California. The next year, a rush was on.
2000?
What is 1849?
Oh,
Jeff, what is 1847? Nope.
1865.
What is 1846?
No, you guys surrounded it to death almost. 1848. Jeff,
1840.
come back to you. Discovery for 800. In late 1805, this pair's core of discovery arrived at the Pacific Ocean near what is...
I don't know. How would I know it? This appears...
Frankie,
No, I never repeated it. I never repeated. Don't actually fucking try to say that. 다시 본 적 없어요. 왜 자꾸 다시 봤다 해. 랜덤으로 하면 되죠. 전 한 번도 다시 본 적이 없어요. I really do not repeat that one. Those people are really crazy because I only watch things once. 절대 다시 안 봐요. I'm not going to attend any school here in South Korea. I will never die Korean. I will give up and I will definitely turn...
please welcome today's test.
Yeah, I will give up my Korean citizenship. I turn it back to the authority. I never watched it. Never watched it. No history of having ever visited this website. 한 번도 본 적 없는데.
Thank you, Johnny. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I think yesterday's show, to start off the week, was a pretty good example of...
My syntax is not bad at all. But I had a little problem with my temper. If I ever actually want to be tested, I need a little, clear sheet. And that way I can actually sign it, circle it, or I can actually click it. But before I actually give out an answer, can I actually have a full view? That's all I'm asking for. That's exactly the same condition that I normally expect to see from the TOEFL or in a different question. It's so easy. My syntax is
Here's
fine.
on the category. Starting off with island nations. Next, games, anagrams, hashtags, election oddities, and finally, the boss of pop culture. BOSS.
Never going to attend a Korean school. Absolutely no choice. I don't want to hear it.
Boss.
That's immediately off the table. I want to die.
2016, Sharon Price John, CEO of Build a Bear, got a unique look at the company on this show. Mason.
Office?
What is Undercover Boss?
Undercover boss.
Island Nations for 200.
Fittingly, this country is home to Europe's largest glacier. Eric.
Reykjavik.
What is Greenland?
Reykjavik Island?
What is
Iceland?
Iceland.
Yeah, Iceland,
Yes.
Reykjavik.
Anagrams for 200.
A European legislature. Apt in realm. Mason.
What is Parliament?
Parliament?
Yes.
Mhm.
Island Nations 400.
Starting in 1845, the building scene here turned out this familiar Cuban product by the millions.
Cigar.
What are cigars?
Cigars,
Mhm.
yes.
Anagrams for 400.
An inferred kind of evidence. I cursed claimant. Eric?
Circumstantial.
You got
I got it.
Island Nations for 600.
The capital and largest city of Indonesia. It's on Java at the mouth of the Ciliwung River.
Sumatra.
What is Jakarta?
Jakarta.
Island
Yeah,
Nations
yeah, yeah.
800.
In 1565, Jean de la Valette led the Knights of St. John in defense of this Mediterranean island.
Cyprus?
What is Malta?
Right.
Malta. Oh,
Island
okay.
Nations 1000.
Here's Jimmy with the clue.
Lush ecosystems off Africa's east coast have been fortified, partly thanks to one of the world's most resourceful environmental organizations,
Mhm.
the Nature Conservancy, and its plan to restructure the debt of this nation.
Eric.
What is Madagascar?
Mason.
Seychelles?
That's it.
I got it. Seychelles. I got
A
it.
type of horse. 10 gums. Molly?
Something?
What is a Mustang?
Mustang, right.
Anagrams for 800.
A holiday item. Search. Set. Trim.
Christmas tree?
What is Christmas tree?
Good.
Anagrams 1000.
A stone home for mummy. Push as cargo. Molly?
What is a sarcophagus?
That's it.
Sarcophagus.
Election oddities 200.
In 2014, this supreme leader of North Korea won 100% of the vote in his district.
Kim Jong-un?
Mason.
Who is Kim Jong-un?
Good.
Boss of Pop Culture 400.
In 2009, Buddy Valastro began living up to this TV title in a Hoboken bakery. Mason.
What is Cake
Cake
Boss?
Bust. I watched the food. Buddy, I know it.
Jennifer
He used to
Aniston
watch
was
it.
part of an awful trio making employees' lives miserable in this 2011 comedy. Molly.
What is horrible bosses?
That's it.
Boss of
Oh,
Pop
the
Culture
Buddy
800.
Brothers throw.
We
The
think
New
the
Jersey
answer
Hoboken one. We
to
used to
this
watch it.
Title 80s
진짜네.
sitcom question is Judith Light, not Tony Danza. Molly,
What is Who's the Boss?
you are right. That takes
Oh, that program was
36
really from the
straight
United
off the
States.
lead.
I thought that
And
was a
you've taken
fake,
us
Food
into our
Network.
first
I
break.
used to watch this, cake bakery contestant, the Fong Dong. That's where I learned this. Oh, his wife is Lisa. They had 3 children. Wow, the Lisa, and they had a restaurant too. Oh, Buddy, 진짜 유명한 사람이야.
Multitasking has to do with dating and trying out.
I never knew that.
That's right. On my second date with my now very long-term girlfriend,
Mm.
I asked her if she would go on a day trip to Philadelphia with me to try out for Jeopardy the first time I got invited to do so. I didn't really know if she liked me very much, but she took the day off work to take that trip with me, so
Wow.
I guess she did.
Yeah, so you're still together.
Wow.
Yep.
All right, good for you.
You know what? Because he's now in a long-term girlfriend. On their second date, he asked her to actually come together to actually have a Jeopardy, quiz session, or like in a field trip. This is like in a field trip. At the time, he had no idea whether she liked him very much or not. But later, it turned out to be she even actually took a day off. She decided to skip her day from the work so she could actually tag along with them. That's really what happened. Now, when they were deeply in love to maintain a very steady relationship. It's interesting. At the time, he had no idea. He just casually asked her to come with him. But she even actually, literally took a day off. She decided to, literally shirk off her work day for once in a blue moon. She officially asked her boss to let her go for one day so she could actually join them to go to the field trip with them. That was like a field trip. That was only the second date. Now she is a long-term, very steady in length, and a long-term means steady. It's really kind of the relationship has been lasting for years. Yeah, not yet married or not yet engaged, but they still actually have a very deep relationship with each other. They even actually seeing each other for years. Oh, interesting. It was really like the date trip. At that time, he had no idea how much she liked him, but she even actually was willing to go that distance just simply to join him. It turned out to be she actually felt hard for him already. That's interesting. I can even
Molly
hear it.
Lauer from Pasadena.
Pasadena is a great place to live, right?
He's buying a lot of 45s lately.
Wow. He's really the famous person? I thought it was a joke. He was living in Hoboken, and I thought that Food Network channel was so shabby. He was a really kind of, in a fringe culture, subculture. Oh my god, he's a really famous person.
Let's get back into this one. Molly, you're in command of the board. Go ahead.
Let's do election oddities 400.
The 1964 election to make Papa Doc Duvalier president for life of 80 had this three-letter French word already marked on ballots. Eric?
Prêt-à-porte?
Oui, for yes.
Oui.
Elections for 600. In 1955, this country's prime minister, Ngo Dinh Diem, printed his ballots on lucky red paper and his opponent's ballot on unlucky green paper.
Vietnam?
Mason?
What is Cambodia?
No. Eric?
What is Vietnam?
Be more specific?
What is
Northern Vietnam?
No. Molly?
What is South Vietnam?
Yep.
South Vietnam.
Nicely for you. Go. You're in the lead.
Election oddities 800.
In 19th century New York, the Dead Rabbits gang used force to make people vote for candidates of this boss tweed political machine. Mason?
Tammany Hall.
Tammany Hall?
Right.
Yeah, I got it. Tammany Hall. I got it.
In 1927, Charles King won the presidency by more than 200,000 votes, even though this African country had only 15,000 registered voters.
Ethiopia?
Eric?
What is Liberia?
Good. You're on the
Liberia.
Boss for 1,000.
Alec Baldwin was all business as the voice of the title infant in this
The Boss
2017
Baby.
film.
Boss Baby.
Eric?
What is Boss Baby?
The name of a lunch staple honors John Montague, the 4th Earl of this. Eric?
Sandwich.
Yeah.
Sandwich.
400.
This creamy fettuccine sauce is named for Signor Di Lelio, the Roman chef said to have created it.
Alfredo?
Mason. What is
Carbonara?
Alfredo? Right.
Hashtag 600.
Alfredo, yeah.
This steak, really a ground beef patty, is named for the doctor who thought Americans should eat it 3 times a day.
Pastrami?
What is Salisbury steak?
Yes.
Salisbury.
Hashtag 800.
Salisbury.
One story says the name of this brunch dish that now features an English muffin and hollandaise sauce honors a broker.
Egg Benedict.
Molly.
What is eggs benedict?
Correct.
Hashtags 1000.
This dessert, a crisp meringue topped with fruit and whipped cream, was named for a Russian ballerina.
It's not Napoleon. What's that ballerina? Catalini? No. Catalini? No. I don't know. What ballerina?
That would be a pavlova.
Ah, Pavlova. Ah, right. Australia.
Games 200.
Each player
Australia.
is
She
dealt
actually
26
visited there.
cards in this game. If both players turn up a card of the same rank, it's this, the name of the game. Mason,
Breach.
what is war? War.
Or,
Games 400.
Pavlova, no more.
Peppermint Stick Forest
What's going on?
and Molasses Swamp were 2 tasty locations in the classic version of this board game. Molly,
What is Candyland?
good.
Okay.
600.
In charades, if you draw a rectangle around your head, You're going to act out the title of one of these. Eric,
What is a television
Television
That's it.
show.
800.
answer. Daily double.
Two daily double, please.
All right, for 3,600 if you're correct. In the game of hearts, this card is known as the Black Lady.
What is
Speedy.
the
Queen Speed.
Spades?
You are right.
I got it.
You don't get to that last clue. You're at 3,600, but you get to go first in double jump.
Oh, Pavlova. I remember that she actually visited Australia. And it was a big race simply to commemorate her because she liked it so much. Oh,
Can he add to it with these categories in Double Jeopardy? Side effects may vary. Four-syllable.
4-syllable words. The side effects may vary in a 4-syllable. I don't actually read a Korean. 진짜 몰라요. 4-syllable words. 나 싫어요. 몰라요. Side effects may vary. 한국어보다 훨씬 빨리 읽어요. 한국어보다 100배는 빨리 읽어요.
Words. It's tough. American names. Lifetime Achievement Grammys. Nonfiction. And finally, you say it's your birthstone? Eric.
American names, 400.
In 1904, she was the head of the U.S. delegation to the International Council of Women. Eric.
Helen
Susan
Keller?
B. Anthony.
Yes.
Susan B. Anthony.
At the age of 6, this Tuscumbia, Alabama girl was examined by Alexander Graham Bell.
Helen Keller?
Eric, who's Helen Keller?
Yeah.
Who's Helen Keller? This, a girl,
As he
even at age of
traveled
6,
in the early 19th century, he planted medicinal herbs like catnip and wintergreen, as well as the seeds that made him famous. Molly?
Who is Johnny Appleseed?
Correct.
Oh, Johnny
American
Appleseed.
name 1600.
This first casualty of the Boston Massacre lay in state at Faneuil Hall. Molly?
Who is Crispus Attucks?
Mhm.
American names 2000.
This artist who made mobiles went into the family business. His father and grandfather were both artists.
Frank Lloyd Wright?
Mason?
Who's Calder?
Alexander
Calder.
Correct.
4-syllable words, 400.
Brazil declared this from Portugal in 1822.
Independence.
Molly?
What is independent?
That's a 4-syllable word.
4-syllable words 800.
Fiberglass this in the attic helps regulate your home's temperature. Eric?
Plexiglass insulator.
4 syllables, 1200.
A recurring verb for the Daleks on Doctor Who. It's something you do to household pests. Molly?
What is exterminate?
Yes.
4-syllable words 1600.
Hydrogen, propane, and renewables such as biodiesel
Eradicate
are
the
labeled this type of fuel in vehicles. Eric?
diesel?
Renewable.
No.
No, diesel. Combustion. Combustible diesel?
What are alternative?
Alternative
Back to you,
fuel.
Molly.
4-syllable words 2000.
Graph the equation y equals x squared, and you get this type of curve seen here.
Hyperbola?
Mason,
What is
Hyperbola.
a parabola?
A
That's it.
parabola.
You say it's your birthstone, 400.
This type of
the other
peril
way
for
is
the
it?
merry month of May will leave you green with envy.
Emerald.
Molly,
What is an emerald?
right?
Birthstone 800.
Think water and Semper Fi as March marches in with this birthstone.
Aquamarine?
Mason,
What is aquamarine?
good.
Exactly.
Birthstone, 1200.
Catch some Z's. Well, one at the end of this aluminum silicate and November stone.
Sleeping stone.
Molly?
Rhino stone.
What is topaz?
A topaz.
Yes.
Sleep. Catch some Z. Sleep.
Answer there. Daily double. You have a $1,000 lead over Mason.
2000.
June features this. Its surface
Pour.
luster
Pour.
is called Orient.
Pour. It's easy. Hey, ladies, this is easy.
What is opal?
No, Paul. 아이고, 이거를 어려운 것만 못 맞추나 토파스 맞추고 있어.
Birthstone 2000.
This precious September stone is known for its
Sapphire.
Molly?
What is a ruby?
No, sapphire.
Mason.
What is sapphire?
Sapphire.
Correct.
Side effects may vary, 400.
Too much beta-carotene can lead to carotenemia, which does this to your skin. Eric.
Orange
That's it.
color.
Lifetime Grammys, 2000.
I know it. I really know it.
2019 recipients included the 76-year-old Spaniard with many a romantic crossover hit.
I don't know.
Eric?
Who is
Enrique Iglesias.
Julio Iglesias.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
Julio
the
Iglesias.
This alliterative composer of Raindrops
Enrique.
Keep Falling on My Head and many more hits was honored in 2008.
Android. Wait,
Right.
I don't know.
Grammys 1200.
He got his Lifetime Award in 1991. Almost 30 years later, his 2020 album, Rough and Rowdy Ways, went to #1. His name is Bob Dylan.
Oh, Bob Dylan.
Eric?
Grammys for 800.
This singer of Blue Bayou has won a slew of Grammys and was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Grammy in 2016. Molly?
Who is Linda Ronstadt?
Correct.
Grammys 400.
The first rap act honored was this Reverend-led trio in 2016. Eric?
Is it Deepo?
DMC.
Yep.
Side effects for 800.
Decongestants block the production of saliva, potentially leading to this side effect, also known as xerostomia.
Dehydration, lack of
Try
saliva.
now.
Yeah.
Side
I don't
effects
know.
1200.
The prostate medicine finasteride was found to have this side effect, so it is now also used under the brand name Propecia. Eric?
What is hair growth?
Yeah.
Mm.
You use it?
Apropacia, alopecia. Oh, it's the opposite.
Stay seated when you donate blood and get up slowly. A common side effect is syncope, also known as this.
Dizziness, faintness.
Lightheadedness or fainting, yeah.
Oh, I said it, fainting.
The
Like
original V's for allergies, like Benadryl, make you drowsy because they can pass through the blood-brain barrier. Mason?
What are antihistamines?
Yeah.
Oh, antihistamine.
Nonfiction 800.
This ancient city on 5 denarii a day is the title of a time-traveling tourist guide by a Cambridge professor. Mason?
Babylon.
What is Rome?
Rome is
Oh,
correct.
okay.
Nonfiction 1200.
Answer their daily double. And you are still in the lead.
4,000.
4 for a total of 20 if you are right. Later, a major motion picture. It was Sebastian Junger's true story of men against the sea.
Main and Commander.
What is the perfect storm?
That's it.
Oh, the perfect storm. Whoa.
20,000 for you.
Nonfiction 1600.
Sarah Bradford's biography of this Renaissance Italian paints a more complete picture of her than the poisoner of myth.
Decameron.
Eric, who's the
Petrarch.
No.
Petrarch.
Who is Lucretia Borgia? Back to
Oh,
Mason.
gosh.
Nonfiction 2000.
After the success of Sex and the Single Girl, Helen Gurley Brown became the editor of this women's magazine and transformed it. Eric,
L.
It's Cosmopolitan.
right.
Oh, gosh.
Nonfiction for 400.
The Path Between the Seas is David McCullough's chronicle of the creation of this between 1870 and 1914. Molly?
What is the Panama Canal?
Good.
Mm.
That takes you to 8,600. Here comes Final Jeopardy for the three of you. The Great Lakes. That
계속 해야 된다. 작년 해야 돼. Searching, no. I'm not searching for anything. I accept any recommendation. Jamila Jamil. Jamila Jamil. I remember.
This is Jeopardy! Please welcome today's contestants. A test prep tutor from Sherman Oaks, California, Betsy Reese. A supply chain manager.
옛날 거라도 무조건 보자. 그냥 뭔지 모르잖아.
This is Jeopardy! Introducing today's contestant, a classical singer from Boston, Massachusetts, Doug Dodson. A chef educator Julie Drew book title for us, followed by On the Fast Food Menu, and finally, Musy Puns. Where do we start, Jan? About Pyongyang's nuclear duplicity, Time magazine asked, how do you solve a problem like this place?
Washington?
Was Korea?
Or North Korea? How do you solve a problem like Maria?
Alabama beat this team for the NCAA football championship. One paper noted it was a four-leaf clobber. Andrew.
Celtics? Your name. Alright then.
When a Veep shot his pal in 2006, The Daily Show regaled us with this punny title, taken from a 1989 Aerosmith tune. Is Cheney's got a gun? Andrew?
Cheney's got a gun.
From the LA Times, big rig carrying fruit crashes on 210 freeway, creates this. Doug,
What is a traffic jam? What's a jam?
jam, that's it, we'll accept it.
Middle names for 200.
Fitzgerald,
John Kennedy.
Andrew,
JFK.
Kennedy.
yes.
Yes.
Middle names 400.
Howard,
Taft.
William Howard Taft.
How you guys don't know it?
Back to newsy puns for 1,000.
A Toronto Star headline of a marijuana issue sent to this type of committee. Editors later said, no pun intended. Andrew?
Rehabilitation.
That's it.
Oh.
Culture Pops for 200.
In 2008's Taken,
Liam
this
Neeson.
dad
Liam Neeson.
real problems
Liam
with his
Neeson.
daughter. Carl? Yes. The A was for Alan. Doug?
Who's Chester A. Arthur?
Correct.
Hmm.
President's 800.
Knox. Carl? Who's Polk? James Knox Polk. You got him. President's middle name for 1,000, please. Clark.
Lewis.
Herbert Clark. Thank you.
General Hospital for 200, please.
All right. With the clue, here are two cast members of General
From General Hospital.
Oh, really, Alexis? Well, your little world, your sterile is about to be in this condition, compromised by the introduction of more bacteria.
The microcosm?
What is infected?
No. Oh, we'll accept infected. We were going for contaminated.
Hmm.
More serious. Go again.
General Hospital for 4.
All right.
Sandy, you go back into that life, you'll destroy me.
I am clean, but your constant doubt, it feels like this archaic removal, often using leeches of some of the
Blood leaking. Blood leaking. Mm-hmm. Blood leaking.
He'll Be Your Daddy. Oh, this singer became a father figure, taking that song all the way to #1 in 1988. Carl. Was George Michael. Yes.
Hmm.
Pop Culture Pops 6. On this sitcom, Klan patriarch George Bluth said, there's a good chance I may have committed some light treason. Doug.
What is Arrested Development?
Yeah. And that takes you
Oh, Arrested
into
Development.
a tie with Andrew for the lead.
Bloodletting, I got it. Contamination, what a waste. I thought that it was a microcosm contaminated, the bacteria being.
Doug Dodson is the classical singer from. Interesting way of dealing with your students in order to give them. Okay. Andrew Knudsen is from Washington, D.C., an environmental lawyer who, in law school. End of the board. Where do we go for our next clue?
On the fast food menu for 200.
Gorge on its Gordita Supreme.
Pizza?
What is Taco Bell?
Yes.
Hmm.
Pop Culture Pops 800.
Son of a Black Panther, this California love rapper who died in 1996 expressed some daddy issues with Papa's song.
Tupac?
Who is Tupac?
Yes.
Fast food for 4.
It's fully loaded croissant-sandwich. Reigns. Doug.
What is Burger King?
Right.
Fast food 600.
You can order a pizza from them. Andrew?
Subway?
What is Domino's?
Domino's.
That's the pizza place.
Fast food menu 800.
Chase its son of Baconator with a Frosty.
I know Wendy?
Wendy's.
I got it.
Fast food 1000.
Travel over to It's Italian BMT.
Subway?
What is Subway?
Subway.
I got it.
Your fast foods.
I can't tell either. Pop culture pops for 1,000.
In Four Christmases, Robert Duvall is this actor's not exactly warm and fuzzy papa. And the actor is Vince Vaughn. Doug, back to you.
General Hospital for 6.
All right. Daily double awaits us there.
All due 2,000.
Two it is. Here's the clue.
It's all coming back to me now. I'm a twin. But dizygotic or monozygotic, also known as this type.
Identical twin? Not fraternal.
What is fraternal?
No, identical. I got it. I got it. I got it. I'm the one who got it.
I'm a nurse, Franco. I can treat you medically, but permanent change is up to you.
Elizabeth, but the draw of the dark side feeds on me like these spore-producing organisms that lack chlorophyll and are incapable of photosynthesis.
Plants,
Fungi.
fungi. Uh-huh.
Hospital for 1,000.
When I'm fully recovered, Carly, you won't be able to stop me.
No matter how many operations you have, Ava, your soul will still suffer from this necrosis of soft tissues from the Greek and Latin for gnawing.
Gangrene. Gangrene.
What is gangrene?
Mm.
Right. I want to thank the cast members.
They're really amazing.
They looked like they were having fun, and they provided us with a great deal of fun with that category. Doug, go again. Let's
Ah, right. You know, not just a simply, you know, Lincoln type of fungi.
Blackwood Hall. Doug,
What is a ghost?
good.
Ah,
400.
The clue of the whistling these Highland instruments. Andrew,
We're back.
Bagpipes.
600.
the clue in this private daily journal.
Diary?
Diary.
Yeah.
800, please.
The spider, this blue gem mystery. Carl,
Sapphire.
yes, and now the last clue. The secret of the old one of these. It was the first Nancy Drew mystery. Secret of the old clock.
Mm.
Close game. Andrew, you're going first once again, though, in Double Jeopardy. When we come back. We have a change in the scoring to announce before we get into Double Jeopardy, and it affects Doug. Our clue a little while ago about fraternal twins was not phrased as precisely as we should have. So we are going to give you back the money you lost on that daily double. So you're in the lead now with 6,400. Andrew, you are still the player who gets to go first, and here are the categories for Double Jeopardy. Around the Caribbean. That sounds straightforward enough. No filter. Autobiographies. Country, hip-hop, and jazz. Followed by stars and constellations. And then TT. Those two letters in quotation marks. What they mean. Andrew.
Let's start with TT 400.
Stephen Hawking once held a secret party for these journeyers. None showed up, however. Andrew.
Meteorites?
Those are the
Light travel. A TT.
Lone Star carbs seen here.
The
Carl,
toasted
Texas
toast?
Yes.
TT 1200.
The World Cup of this has been dominated by China of late. Doug.
What is table tennis?
Oh, table tennis.
Around the Caribbean for 2,000.
Ping pong table tennis.
An 1850 treaty averted a crisis between the United States and Britain over this Nicaraguan coast, among other territories. Andrew.
Cuba?
What is the Mosquito Coast?
Yes.
Mosquito.
Around the Caribbean 800.
The Windward Passage separates Haiti from this country to the northwest. Carl.
Jamaica?
Cuba.
Good.
Cuba.
Around the Caribbean for 4.
White sand beaches are an attraction of this A of the Caribbean's ABC islands. Andrew.
Aruba?
What is Antigua?
I,
Doug.
What is Aruba?
Aruba.
I was really wrong.
Caribbean for 1,200.
You'll find cockpit country, named after a rooster fighting term near Montego Bay in this nation. Doug.
What is Jamaica?
Jamaica.
Jamaica, man.
Caribbean for 16.
This five-letter Panamanian city sits on Limon Bay near the Caribbean entrance to the canal. Back to you, Doug.
Stars and constellations for 4.
Two of the brightest stars in the sky are Betelgeuse, marking a shoulder, and Rigel, marking one of the feet in this constellation.
Speak deeper.
What is Orion?
Orion is right.
Lion. Okay.
TT for 16.
Those into dendrochronology study cross-sections of these.
Trees.
What are tree trunks?
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Stars for 8.
Polaris in the Little Dipper's handle is the brightest star in this constellation.
Northern
Ursa Minor?
Constellations.
Got it.
Constellations
Or
12.
somewhere.
Answer. Daily double. You're at an even 10,000.
I'll do 2,000.
All right, here's the clue. Appearing on the flags of New Zealand and Samoa, it's the smallest of the constellations.
What is the
Pluto?
Southern Cross?
Right again.
Oh, he's really good.
I'll do stars for 16.
Sarah has the clue this time.
The star Acubens, whose name is derived from the Arabic for claws, is on the left or southern claw of this, the dimmest constellation of the zodiac.
Andrew.
What is Scorpio?
Nebula.
No.
Nebula?
Carl.
Cancer.
Cancer,
Yeah,
yes.
Cancer.
TT for 2,000, please.
I'll say it again. These Hawthorne tales were published in 1837.
Scott Letter.
What are twice told tales?
Right
What's
you are.
told to you?
No filter for 400, please.
These used to come unfiltered, but the Kent Micronite got one in 52. You know, for your health. Except it also had asbestos. Andrew?
What's a cigarette?
Yeah.
Stars and constellations 2,000.
No. What are you doing? I'm really sorry. Keep going. I just want you to keep going. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? No, I'm not really whatever type of young person. No, I want to prove it. I know more words in English. Jeopardy, proven too. I'm actually really. I know more words than other people. It's not really hard. I'm not crazy. I can prove it. No, I'm not crazy. It's not really the very best. I want to prove it. It's really ridiculous. Playlist is not empty. Not really explore. Are you crazy? I can actually demonstrate it. I don't really have any difficulty, not at all. Long time, no. I don't actually read a Korean. I don't know who that person is. I don't know. No, I'm not lying. I really don't know anything about Korean. To me, Korean sounds are really the most difficult language that I've ever heard. I don't know. I only know what I can actually say in plain Korean. That's all that I know. 아예 몰라요. 누군지도 몰라요. I really don't. I'm not lying. 한국어 아예 몰라요. I'm not really young. 어쩌고 있었어. 이렇게 돼 있었어. I'm not young. I've already watched it. I'm not really a psycho. I really actually know more in English. I can never actually solve any college entrance exam in English. I mean in Korean. 아예 몰라요. 한국어를 아예 읽지도 못해요. 아예 몰라요. 한국어 글자 자체 실문은 못 읽어요.
Johnny. Yeah, folks, you'd smile that way also if you had won $157,000. Emily, I love the way you signed in.
Thank you.
And Dave Mattingly, you don't look old enough to have played in Major League Baseball so many years.
I get that a lot.
I'm sure you do. Good luck, though. Here we go. Now the categories. History and Europe. A lot of it there. Get me rewrite. We'll deal with handwear. Music of 20 years ago. That's not too long ago. Dead in Shakespeare. And finally, afternoon. Each correct response will begin with N-O and will come up in the dictionary after noon. Okay? Ryan, start.
History 200, please.
In the 15th century, this pair ruled Castile and Aragon, uniting two of Spain's main kingdoms.
Ferdinando Isabella.
Isabel and Ferdinand.
Yes.
Rewrite 200.
Thanks to Eisenhower's urging, these two words were added to the Pledge of Allegiance in 1954. Emily,
In God we
Christ
trust.
under God.
right?
Handwear 200.
Figuratively, you can throw down one of these armored gloves to issue a challenge.
Gauntlet. Gauntlet.
Dave?
What is a gauntlet?
Yes.
Get me a rewrite for 400.
This country has rewritten its anthem from "In All Thy Sons' Command" to the gender-neutral "In All of Us" command.
I don't know.
Dave,
What is Canada?
yeah.
Oh, really?
You
I
can
don't know.
still view a trailer online for the third Star Wars film when this edgier word was in the title, not return.
Revenge.
Brian, what is revenge? Revenge of the
The revenge of
Rewrite
shit.
800.
As this Broadway musical was being translated to the big screen, Sondheim revealed that Rapunzel would not die. Ryan,
Frozen?
Into the woods.
Into the
Rewrite
Woods.
1000.
an 18th century Philly printer put out a work called simply Encyclopedia, with less London bias and this title word removed.
The Britannica.
Dave,
What is Britannica?
Yeah.
Handwear for 400.
in the 2000s, Pro Baseball's Ichiro Suzuki won this defensive award 10 straight times. Dave,
What's the
Golden Glove.
right.
600
No,
handwear.
sorry.
Uh,
Sorry, incorrect.
Golden Meat.
You misspoke. It's not a golden glove. That's boxing. It is a gold glove.
Ah,
in Major
Golden
League
Glove.
Baseball. Back to you, though.
600 handwear.
This soft, delicate leather used to make gloves comes from young goats.
Lame.
Dave,
What is kid?
kid skin.
Kid. Ah.
Handwear for 800.
Insert your hands for warmth into this fur or wool cylinder. Open at both ends.
Muff.
Brian,
What's a muff?
a muff. Good.
Handwear 1000.
A
MUFF.
cesta is a long curved wicker basket
I know.
worn on the hand during the playing of this
아이고.
sport.
같이 resta?
Highlight.
Yes.
Mhm.
Europe 400.
It's really similar. It's
Under the
it's
threat of
really
civil
similar to
war,
lacrosse.
King John granted this charter on June 15th, 1250.
The Magna Carta.
Dave,
What's the Magna Carta?
that's it.
History 600.
The breakup of the dual monarchy of these two countries in 1918 marked the end of the Habsburg Empire. Emily,
What are Austria and Hungary?
Austria-Hungary.
Europe
Oh, I'm so
800.
sorry. I didn't.
Winston Churchill said this, also known as the Battle of the Ardennes, was the greatest American battle of World War II. Ryan,
What's a
The
battle of
Spanish
Bulls?
Wars. I
Europe
don't know.
1000.
answer. Daily double. You're in the lead with 4,000.
Let's make it true.
True daily double. All right, here is the clue. A September 5th, 1793 French decree officially started this. It lasted just under a year.
What is
Now to
the
edict.
Republic?
No, now
it
to
is
edict.
the Reign of Terror.
Reign of
1793.
Terror.
All right,
Oh,
we're up
okay.
to 0,
Robert Pierre.
and we're taking a break. So we'll come back right after this.
Robert Pierre, Reign of Terror. Oh, I mean, I actually lost many from.
Mattingly is one of them, and yours is a very specialized account having to do
Entertained.
Okay, good for you. Emily Moore.
아이고, Reign of Terror 정말
Money.
맞췄는데.
Come pick you up. I'd known all those questions. Did not know my own phone number.
Meaning three categories.
Shakespeare 200.
In Hamlet, this character doth not get herself to a nunnery, but drowns.
Ophelia.
Dave,
Who is Ophelia?
right.
Shakespeare for 400.
All his mighty words couldn't save the orator Cicero from execution in this play.
Caesar.
Emily?
What is Julius Caesar?
Right.
Afternoon 600.
Hey, this standard of social behavior. Sit down and have a beer. Emily.
What is a norm?
Yes. Hey,
Oh, really?
Norm.
Norm.
Cheers. Yeah.
Afternoon 800.
5-letter acronym for an air defense organization established in 1957.
Air Force?
NORAD.
NORAD.
Shakespeare for 600.
The soon-to-be Henry VII kills this title monarch at Bosworth Field.
King Lear?
Hey,
Who's Richard III?
Richard III.
Shakespeare for 800.
in Macbeth, the status quo for him, but not his son Fleance, was being murdered. Emily.
Who is Macduff?
Ryan?
Banquo.
Banquo, yeah.
Shakespeare, 1000.
Including the Duke of Cornwall, many end up dead in this royal play by poison, suicide, hanging,